I think we're live. Hey, folks. Where's my guitar pick? Here. Just had it a second ago. So there it is. There we go. Well, we're going to get started here. Who we got? Who was in first? Phil. Phil from Wales was in first. Great to see you today. Dean came in right after that. Wait, what was the Dean? There's Dean. And Warren's here. So we got the crowd. Everybody's starting to filter in here. Yesterday, had some stuff going on, and I wasn't able to make it until later. But I did do it. We were here. Excuse me. A few of us. Steven's here. Well, what's up, man? How you doing? A few of us hung out last night. What was it, like 6? My time here. I remember Phil's time, it was 11 p.m. 5 hours ahead. I remember that. So great to see everybody today. And what we're going to be doing is talking about diatonic chords. Okay. Why? Because I've had some people lately struggle with knowing why some chords sound pleasing together and other ones don't. And we talked a little bit about borrowed chords the other day, and this is kind of a step before that. So there were some folks who didn't really, that was a little bit too far down the road for them. But this is always good to go over, even if we've done it before. These are chords that play well. So what I'd like for you to do in the old chat there is put in the chords you like to play. What's your favorite chord progression? You can put in the names of the chords. You can put in the Roman numerals of the chords. But put in there what your favorite chords are to play. I like blues chords. I love the way that the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, when they're all dominant, they all lead to each other. I love the lines inside the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord when they're all dominant there. Let's see here. Dean says he's always loved F sharp minor, C sharp minor, and A. Very nice. So that would be, if we were in the key, let's say we're in the key of A, correct? That would be the relative minor of A. I was doing stuff in the car and my hands are all dirty there. We got a F sharp minor. So that is the 6th, right? So we have the 6th there, and then what was the other one? It was C sharp minor. That's the 3 minor. So 6 minor, 3 minor, 2 1. Very nice chord progression. I enjoy that, Dean. I like those chords too. Warren says he digs most varieties of A chords. Yeah, I do too. I like going through all the different ones. I like that we all got together one day and made all the different chords from an A chord. Start here. Here, let's run through it real quick before we do our diatonic chords. So we've got an A chord. Then if you lower the 3rd, A minor, right? If you get rid of the 7th, A minor 7th. If you made it major but get rid of the 7th, Sam's here. What's up, Sam? How you doing? Aloha. So we had A minor, A minor seventh, A dominant seventh, without the note on the G string. Right, then we had minor 7 flat 5. And then we had diminished. And then we had augmented. We can make all the different chords right from that one chord there. So I'm going to start making some chords over here. What do you say? We start making some chords. We're going to start learning why certain chords work together. Here we go. We're out here at the desktop on the blackboard. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to do the key of C, because that's always the easiest one. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then back to C here. And I always like to number these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and a half step. This is our C major scale. Those are all the degrees of the scale. And you can build one of those anywhere. If you know your whole step, half step, whole, half. What I want to do is I want to start making some chords. I want to start making some triads. Triads are cool, right? They fit into anything there. So I'm going to make a triad off of this chord, this one chord here. And so this triad goes from C to E to G. So this first chord, C, E, and G, that's the first, the third, and the fifth. And this is called a major triad. Why? Because we have 2 whole steps between the C and the E, and then a half step and a whole step between the E and the G. So we got us a C major triad. That's our number 1 chord. Okay? Now, let's make us a number 2 chord. Okay, so we're going to make a chord from this note. So 2, we're going to go skip 1 and skip 1. So we're going to have D, and we're going to have an F, and we're going to have an A. Okay? Well, D has a whole step and a half step between it. So that's minor. It's a flat 3, right? And then we have 2 whole steps after that. So this would be a D minor chord, a minor triad. That half step and whole step are in the beginning, not the end. It's flipped compared to the last one. So our 2 chord is D minor. Now we're going to go to 3. We're going to make a chord from 3. We have E, G, and B. E, G, and B. There. So E to G, that's a half step and a whole step. So that's going to be minor. That's a flat 3. And then G to B, that's 2 whole steps. So this is another minor chord. This is E minor. You see how I'm doing this? See how completely easy this is? And Dean says he loved his triads. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to let me finish this out real quick, right? So our next chord, our 4 chord, is an F. And we have F, A, and C. So F, A, and C. F to A, that's 2 whole steps, and A to C is a whole step, half step. This is F major. Next is G. G, B, D. That's going every other G, B, and then over to here. Let's bring you back over there. So we have G, B, and D for our 5 chord, and that's a G major. Then we have our 6 chord, A, C, and from C to E. So that's A, C, E. That's half step, whole step in the beginning. So this is A minor. And then finally, we got this last chord here, the 7th chord. It's a B in this key. And so we have B that goes to D and then goes to F. B, D, F. So between the B and the D, that's a half step and a whole step. So that's a minor third. But then between the D and the F, whole step and half. That's also a minor third. 2 whole steps and half steps, 2 minor thirds right there. So that makes this chord a little different. All the other ones we had, one side was 2 whole steps and the other side was a half and a whole. So this would be B diminished. And the way I think about that is, let me get me back here. If you look at every chord here, the outside notes, C to G, and then there's a note in the middle, right? So if they're still this wide, right? But if you shift the note this way, the middle note. So let's say for a major triad, we have C, E, and G. E is a whole step and half step away. 2 whole steps away from C. If we made it E flat, now this interval is a minor third. It's a half step and a whole step, and it makes this back one bigger, right? We've shifted in the middle. This one is 2 whole steps, major third. So whereas a major triad has a major third in the front, minor third in the back, you do it the other. You lower this one. Now it's switched. Excuse me. Now it's minor third in front, major third in the back. But this diminished chord, what we did was we had 2 minor thirds. So now this one's short, but this one is also a minor third. So now our outside note has come in, right? We don't have the same outside notes anymore. That's why they call it diminished. It's a narrow chord. If we had augmented, that would be 2 major thirds there. The outside would go wider. That's why they call it augmented, okay? So we've got these chords here. Not that. There we go. We got these chords here. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and B diminished. This is a formula. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. This is our little formula here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter what key you're in. If you want to do major, start with a certain note here. If say we have a F major, that'd be F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, C D. What did I start with? This is one. F. Yeah, I was right. F. We have F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, and E diminished. Okay? So I just plugged that into the formula there, and look at how easy that is. Why is this important? Well, because these are the inside chords. These chords are a family. Okay? These chords work together. And not only do those chords work together, they also come from a group of notes, right? That group of notes is the scale. So if you're playing those chords and they all come from the scale should work over all of those chords. See, it depends on which way you come to it, right? If you learn a bunch of scales and you say, I want to play these over some chords, and you start to, what's the... Oh, there's all my chords, and you got to figure it. Or say you have a bunch of chords, and they all, C, D minor, E minor. If you know them this way, if you know your formula, then you can play your C major scale over top of all of them, and they work really well. So I'm going to, let's see, Ricky's in here. Ricky and I had a great time at the jam the other night. Best demonstration for building chords. Love it. Hey, I appreciate that. Still loving the blues elevation toolkit. Using it for a week. Haven't even scratched the surface. Yeah, I'm working on the chord one right now. I've been doing backing tracks. Lots of new backing tracks for this new one coming out. Thank you, Ricky. That's awesome. Evan's here. What's happening? Doing fine. And Dean says, pick up your copy before it goes up. Best deal on the internet. Chord elevation toolkit. Right. And next week, I'm planning on having this done next week being the launch. I'm going to work my hardest to get it. I'm close. All of these live streams that we're doing are going to be combined on a page with another lesson there. And they're going to be the bonus to this course. So not only have we been having fun every day for the past couple of days, we're building the bonus section for the new toolkit there. So if you get the toolkit next week, you'll have a page where you can go to all of these in one click. Now, Facebook removes these over time. I may remove them over time, but you'll have them in the bonus for next week. You'll be able to go to them at any time, no matter what happens. I'll have them up there all the time, and you can go through all of the different things that we've talked about here, plus an add-on lesson as well too. Just a little add-on for that you get with it next week, and after that it will be a paid add-on after that there. So, thank you, Dean. I appreciate that. Oh, he got the he corrected that. Hey, you're the best. You're the best, man. So what we're gonna do here, we do have at the top of the hour, it's the Q&A in the Academy. So a lot of us here in the Academy, we're going to pop over there and have our hour-long Q&A. So we've got about 12 more minutes here. What we're going to do is we're going to start making a song with this. Now, there's some things that you might need to know about these chords. One is there's a very strong relationship between the 5 and the 1. So in the key of C, that would be a G7 going to C. Have you ever seen songs like that? A song in the key of C and there's a lot of G7s in there, or Gs in there, right? So that's a strong relationship. You play the G chord, it wants to go back to the 1. 5-1 is a very strong relationship. For jazz, 2-5-1 is that. Right? So you have a 2 chord, a D minor, going to a G, going back to the 1, which is the C, 2-5-1. So let me play all these. So 5-1. There's the 5-1 there. G to C. Now, if you're, playing some song, hit that G. Feel that? Wants to go back to the C, okay? 2-5-1, so that would be in the key of C, would be a D minor 7, or D minor, to a G, 5, to a 1. Now in jazz, you'll hear them more 7th chords, not triads. There's D minor 7, G dominant 7, and C major 7. Gives a little jazzier sound there. But it's the idea of that, right? Some other things that you would want to know about diatonic chords that are common. Blues uses the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, as does a lot of country music, a lot of popular music. It's a very common chord progression, 1, 4, 5, right? And you can see. Right? Blues would be. So there's something that you would want to know about. It comes from here. And then there's all sorts of this here, C and A minor. The root chord, the 1 chord, and the 6th chord. C to A minor is very common too. Lots of songs that are just that. There's a whole ton of songs that just go back and forth between them, and also use those in other types of music too. Let's see what else we can find here. There's got to be a couple other common chord progressions there. 1, combine all the ones we talked about. A 1, 6, 2, 5, is common. 1, 6, 2 to 5. There it is. Yeah, so there's all sorts. There's all sorts of those there. So, let's make a song up here. Let's do something interesting. The ones, the 4s, 5s, and 6s are all kind of common here. But let's use some 3s and 2s there. Let's try that. So in the key of C, the 3 chord's E minor, the 2 chord is D minor, and then the 1 chord. So there, I'm just going to go down this E minor, D minor. That's a neat chord progression. There's some songs, very popular songs, that just do the 1 chord. Then they just go to the 2 chord. Back to the 1 chord. And that's the whole song. You're done. That's what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so I went through a lot of common chord progressions. We went through how to build these chords. We went through where they come from. Should make a lot of sense. And I hope if you are struggling with guitar or struggling with music, I hope you take some of that stress off and realize that this all makes sense. It's not something that's beyond you. If you're worried about that, relax. It's just too big. There's too much going on in music. If you focus on the basics, and what happens is most people, they go out there and they start trying to do things that they're not ready for yet because it looks easy and it sounds great. But what you're really doing is you're putting yourself in a pit. You're stuck there. You're always trying to chase that song that you can't really play yet. And so what we got to do is think about, well, what are the things that I can't do that are easy? I can't play some of these chords. Well, let's work on those first. Think of it as like filling up a bucket, right? We're missing some things. We got to fill that bucket. We need to make sure we have all of our basic chords, because just taking one of these chords and sliding it up, you have chords all over the whole guitar. If you really look at bar chords, they are just our open position chords, and you slide them up and you make sure that the open string comes up with them too. So you don't need to worry about this stuff. You can do all of these things. Most likely you skipped ahead, and it's tough to go back, especially when you have everything that you could ever want right here. Sometimes getting what you want isn't the best thing for you. Maybe you're not ready for it yet. So something like this really freaks people out. And I hope what you saw today, that it's easy. It makes sense. It's just not something it's just not user friendly. It's just not something you would just do. But once you understand how it works, it's not difficult, and you can make all sorts of cool stuff out. Okay? All right. Phil's all de-stressed today. That's great. Mr. Super Sidewinder is here. What's happening? Good to see you. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and start changing over to the Academy here, and we're going to have our hour-long Q&A session, so get your questions ready. And if you're not a member there, if you'd like to go and join these, every Wednesday we do an hour of your questions there. You can go over to Play Guitar Academy. We still have the $1 for 2 weeks kind of trial, so you can take a look at what's going on there. That's not going to last much longer. It will come back here and there, but I think it's time. Okay, everybody, great to see you. And let's see here. We got Phil, we got Mr. Super Sidewinder, Evan, Dean. The whole cast of characters are here. Ricky was here. Let's see here. Warren was here. Sam's here. Got everybody. Steven's here. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I got everybody. Okay, I did. And we're going to take off. Okay, I'll see everybody over at the Academy. Bye-bye, everybody.